Dear students and viewers, welcome to our digital classroom. This is Amita Mutsudi with you again with English class. Uh, Unit 12 is being discussed, and the title of the Unit 12 is Environment and Nature. We have chosen to discuss this topic because environment and nature plays a pivotal role for our own existence, and at the same time we are very much getting cruel day by day to perish environment and nature, but our existence solely depends on environment and nature. So we should apply our discretion to protect environment and nature. In order to create a bit of awareness among ourselves, I always give priority on this topic. For that reason, this unit has been chosen today. And Unit 12, Lesson 4, and within the framework of environment and nature, Lesson 4 discusses the threats to tigers of a mangrove forest. Threat to tigers of mangrove forest. Royal Bengal tigers are available in mangrove forest, but mangrove forest is getting the phase of extinction as well as the extinction of tigers. So mangrove forest and tigers are related to each other for their own survival. Okay, so at the end of this lesson, we will be able, what we will learn today has been discussed in a very synopsis way, comprehend the gradual disappearance of the Sundarbans and extinction of the tigers. What are the reasons of the extinction of the tigers and what are the reasons of the gradual disappearance of the Sundarbans have been discussed here. And at the same time, causes of disappearance and extinction and measures to be taken. And what sort of measures should be taken have also been discussed here. So here an image has been represented to have a guess beforehand, and out of this image you can easily correlate the relationship between the tiger and the global warming. And the climate change is closely associated with the rise in temperature. For that reason, this image has been represented in front of you to have a clear idea, to have a bit of preparation before going delve into the text. And as usual, before starting the class, we always try to make the focal and main vocabularies clear in front of you, because without having clear understanding of the vocabularies, we can hardly understand the text, and the understanding of text becomes very much easier when we have sound knowledge on vocabularies. For that reason, vocabularies are prioritized each and every moment, and aiming at these attempt, we always try to make the vocabularies clear. So here you find many vocabularies which are very much important to have a clear understanding of the text. Evident means distinct. At the same time, you are to learn the art of producing synonymous word for the main word. Distinct, obvious, and automatic. And disappear means exist, no longer, vanish, or dissipate. Thrive means to do well or prosper. Vulnerability means capable of being wounded, hurt, or deceived. And to account for means narrate or described. Here, example has been given to facilitate the understanding of this meaning. That means he was brought before the board to the account for his behavior. And indicate means imply, connotate, denotate. These synonymous meanings can also be used in the place of the word indicate. And threaten means intimidate, bluster. Okay, you threaten and bluster, but don't carry it through. Okay, biodiversity, and in the previous class, we have discussed the definition of biodiversity. The term is frequently used whenever nature and environment is discussed because biodiversity is closely related to nature and environment. Here you will find the similar meaning in a different way of the term biodiversity. Biodiversity means variety of plants and animals in a particular area, that means in a particular habitat, and you can easily correlate this meaning of biodiversity with the image and the attempt of a correlation will boost up your understanding with the creation of visual effect, and out of this visual effect you can easily keep the vocabulary fresh in your mind. And mangrove means a tropical tree that roots growing out of its branch and that grows in swamps or salt water. That means the branches that grow up of the water, and this sort of characteristics is very much visible in mangrove. So the Sundarbans is the area which is very much visible with mangrove. And shield, what is the meaning of shield? A bold piece of armor, armament, or gird. Brunt means impact. Here you will get a wonderful information. The Sundarbans forest took the brunt of a super cyclone Cedar in 2007. In 2007, Sundarban received the great impact of the super cyclone. It acted as a shield that protected us from being attacked by cyclone or storm. So it is called that Sundarban plays the role of natural shield as it is getting deteriorated, destroyed by our unwise act. Sundarban is losing its natural shield and we are not being protected now from the super cyclone. For that reason, cyclone visit us, we are to pay a heavy toll to cyclone. Okay, then recede. What is the meaning of recede? Go or move back. Go or move back means recede. It means retreat or go back. Synonymous word can also be used. Okay, in the text, you will get the information that coastline retreat. The word, you will get acquainted with the new word, coastline retreat. What is the meaning of coastline retreat? You can easily understand the meaning of coastline retreat through this animated image. Landward shift of the coastline caused by a long-term erosional trend or by sea level. Because of erosional trend and sea level rise, coastline goes back. So this is called coastline retreat. Whenever the coastline goes back, it is called coastline retreat. And erosion, gradual destruction or diminution of something. Synonyms: erosion, abrasion, crumbling. We can also use these words instead of the word synonyms. Anthropogenic means caused or produced by humans. Whenever something is caused by produced by humans, we term it as the word anthropogenic. Now, let's get into the text. What the text says: the Sundarbans, a diverse forest. That means in the Sundarbans, you will find that diversity. For that reason, it is said that Sundarban is a diverse forest. Biodiversity, and you can also find biodiversity within the framework of Sundarban. So what is biodiversity? Biodiversity means the diversity of different kinds of animals, plants in a particular habitat. Whenever different kinds of animals and plants, living entities live together in a particular habitat, then we use the term biodiversity. So biodiversity means the diversity of different kinds of plants and animals within a particular area. For that reason, we can easily say that the Sundarban is a biodiverse forest because it always comes up with majestic biodiversity. So, for example, the Sundarbans is the habitat of various kinds of plants and majestic animals. For that reason, we can say that Sundarban is a biodiverse forest. Next, tigers facing the threat of extinction. And Sundarban assumes a terrible look because of the presence of Royal Bengal tiger. But unfortunately, Royal Bengal tigers are facing the threat of extinction because of our unwise act. And for as they are frequently facing the threat of extinction, the number of tiger is getting reduced. So there are about 500 tigers in the Sundarbans nowadays. The estimation has been stated that about 500 tigers live in Sundarbans now. But tigers are at a stage. That means tigers are getting endangered because of the forest getting destroyed. As we are destroying forest, the area of the forest is getting encompassed, getting deteriorated. For that reason, the number of tiger is also getting reduced. So, erosion is one of them. That means the area of Sundarban is getting limited, reduced, and erosion is the sole factor of this. And coastline retreat, we have discussed the term coastline retreat, and a coastline retreat happens only for erosion. That means erosion is the mainly responsible factor for the coastline retreat, and out of coastline retreat, the area of Sundarban is getting reduced and number of tigers is also getting reduced as well. Okay, erosion is one of them. If erosion continues, the threatened tiger population is already under a threat. For that reason, the term has been used that the threatened tiger populations living in the forest will be put at risk. They will be at stake because of the erosion. And out of erosion, coastline retreat is very much prominent and evident. And a coastline retreat is an ominous sign for the Sundarbans. There will be an ominous sign for the Sundarbans. Okay, so ominous, it is not good sign. The coastline retreat. Coastline retreat gives us an ominous sign that we are facing the threat of extinction, as well as we are closely associated with biodiversity. As biodiversity is getting threatened, we human beings are also facing, proceeding towards the steps of our own annihilation. So, how do we see the coastline retreat? With the help of satellite. So, satellite studies show that 71% of the forested coastline is retreating by as much 200 meters a year. Per year, 200 meters as per coastline retreats is happening. And if coastline retreat erosion continues at this space, already threatened tiger population living in the forest will be put at stake. The tigers are already threatened, and that threatened tigers will face the extinction ahead in a very quicker way because of coastline retreat. And the coastline retreat is very much evident if the satellite studies are analyzed. And out of erosion, coastline retreat is happening. So erosion can be held responsible for coastline retreat, and coastline retreat should be held responsible for the reduction of the number of tiger. Natal Petrelli, one of the report's author says, this is the image of the Natal Petrelli, and she's the author of this report. And according to her, coastline retreat is evident everywhere. Whenever you cast your observation, you will come across the fact that yes, coastline retreat is very much evident. That means coastline is getting back day by day. If it goes on, the mangrove forest on Bangladesh, part of Sundarbans, will disappear within 50 years. Within the 50 years, the portion that belongs to Bangladesh will disappear if that sort of coastline retreat goes on. And the Sundarbans, which extend into the Bay of Bengal, will disappear in about 20 years. That means the Sundarbans that extends to the Bay of Bengal will disappear within 20 years, and the portion that belongs to Bangladesh as well will disappear within 50 years. And the coastline retreat is solely responsible for that. And river erosion weakens that coastline retreat. And the Sundarban, known for vanishing island and natural shield, the passage gives you the information that the Sundarban is a vanishing island. Why vanishing island? Before giving you the information, you can easily guess why is it called vanishing island. Okay, vanishing Sundarban is getting disappeared. For that reason, the term can best be used for the disappearance of Sundarban, vanishing island. And natural shield. Sundarban protects us from various kinds of natural calamities. So it protects us from various kinds of natural disasters. For that reason, it is called that Sundarban is a natural shield. But Sundarban is no more a natural shield because it is getting destroyed for our own cause. Okay, in 2007, the forest took the brunt of super cyclone Sidor. We are protected from super cyclone Sidor by Sundarbans. That means Sundarbans took the brunt, took the severe impact of super cyclone Sidor and saved us from being affected. So, in consequence of it, the forest got destroyed and the salinity of the water increased as a part of the forest was flooded by saline water. So, what happened in 2007? In 2007, we are visited by the super cyclone Sidor, and we hardly got the impact of this cyclone as the impact was taken by the Sundarbans as well. So what happened? Salinity has been increased because the total area got flooded. So salinity has been increased, and because of the salinity, increased salinity, the mangrove forests are facing the threat. So super cyclone salinity has been increased, and out of the increased salinity, the mangrove forests are thriving to survive. The Sundarban forest is a critical tiger habitat. The term critical has been used here because they are struggling to survive there. In the forest, the tigers are now struggling to survive. Several tigers live here. We have come across the fact that now 500 tigers live there and they are very much endangered. So a handful number of tigers live there. So it is said that several tigers live here, and the coastline in the Sundarbans is gradually retreating. This fact is frequently introduced to you to have a clear focus on the reason of the extinction of tiger. And if coastline retreat continues, it will be a step closer to the extinction of tiger. So the extinction of a tiger will be propelled if the erosion goes on, if the coastline retreat happens. So here the reason of coastline retreat or reason of the extinction of tigers have been discussed here. The erosion, this is the prime factor of the extinction of tigers as well as the destruction of the mangrove forest. Then a rise in the sea level, global temperature is increasing because of climate change, and out of that climate change sea level is rising. So I have presented this information in a noun form, rise in sea level. Then natural disaster. Natural disaster is a natural phenomenon. We are frequently visited by natural disaster, but natural disasters to withstand the natural disasters, the mangrove forest plays a pioneer role, but we are destroying it for our own sake, and that sake brings destruction to our own existence. Okay, then poaching, illegal poaching. Illegal poaching is one of the factors of the reduction of the number of tigers, and that point has been discussed in the chapters that deals with giant panda. Okay, coastline retreat, the information has also been highlighted. Coastline retreat, okay, climate change. These are the factors that propels the tigers to extinction and destruction of forest, degradation of natural shield. Natural shield is getting uh, destroyed. For that reason, we can say destruction of natural shield or degradation of natural shield, and want of public awareness. We are not aware of the existence of that majestic tigers and the Sundarbans, as we are blind to the existence of their existence. In a roundabout way, we are blind to our own existence as well. So we are not conscious about this. So we are to raise consciousness. For that reason, the public awareness is very much a prerequisite to save these majestic animals from being endangered. So, want of public awareness is responsible for the extinction of tigers. So, we are to raise awareness, public awareness. So, these are the factors that are responsible for the extinction of the tigers, and these factors have been stated in your passage directly. And the causes of the coastline retreat or vulnerability of the mangrove forest, you may face two sort of question: the causes of the extinction of tigers and the causes of the uh, uh, coastline retreat or vulnerability of the mangrove forest. Increased frequency of storm surges. The Sundarban forest faces storm surges, and that increased frequency is considered to be the main factor, one of the factors, not main factors, one of the factors of the vulnerability of the mangrove forest. Then extreme natural events, it means natural disasters. Sundarban frequently face extreme natural events. And land grabbing. We illegally grab the land of the Sundarbans. For that reason, our encroachment posed a threat to the vulnerability of mangroves. So land grabbing is one of the factors which is responsible for the vulnerability of mangrove forest. And thriving human development. Fast human beings grab the land, then they settle themselves there. For that reason, land grabbing and thriving human development are considered to be the two focal reasons that propose to the vulnerability of the mangrove forest. River erosion has been discussed in the previous slide. River erosion is also responsible for the extinction of the tigers. As the mangrove forests are getting destroyed, tiger will definitely face the extinction. So, the term, the point erosion has been placed in that point and in the previous point that denotes the message of the extinction of tiger. And increased salinity, as we have come across the fact that Sundarban is frequently visited by natural calamities. Sidor, in 2007, it faced Sidor, and out of it got flooded. So salinity has been increased, and increased salinity is responsible for the destruction of mangroves and rises in sea level. Sea level is rising because of global temperature. So rises in sea level is also the factor that is treated to be one of the causes of coastline retreat, as well as the vulnerability of the mangroves. Prediction of the scientists: each and every moment scientists are studying hard to find out the causes of the destruction of the mangrove forest, as well as the majestic animals living in that particular habitat. At the same time, they always try to come up with the solutions so that that mangrove forest and the majestic animals of that particular habitat can be saved. Here, the prediction has been stated by scientists, and out of that prediction, they try to raise awareness, and out of this awareness, it can be hoped that the mangrove forest as well as the majestic animals living there can be saved. If steps are not taken, thriving human development, that means thriving human development has been highly brought under consideration has highly brought under consideration. That means thriving human development. Human development is thriving there. So thriving human development cannot be stopped, and a continuous rise of global temperature increases that will lead to the species loss. That means rise in temperature and thriving human development have been focused as sole factors that lead to the species to the steps of the destruction, and at the same time it will hamper the rich biodiversity. As it is said that the mangrove forest is a richly biodiverse forest. If it gets destroyed, the diversity will be lost. There will be no more majestic entities living in there. So human development should be stopped, and rising temperature should be curtailed. So these factors have been highlighted as the sole factors of the destruction of this forest as well as the majestic animals. So these are the main factors that have been discussed in your text. If you go through this video, I think you can easily understand the text by yourself, and you can easily answer to any sort of questions given to you. And here, several important and tentative questions have been presented for your convenience. And number one, the Sundarbans is a critical tiger habitat. Explain the statement from your reading of the passage. I think after watching this video, or after having a good concentration on the slide presented for you, you can easily answer to this question. Already you have got the answer after having a look of this question. And what happened to Sundarbans in 2007? We have also discussed what happened in 2007 and what are the ultimate consequences of this happening. Okay, do you agree that the retreat of coastline is an ominous sign for the Sundarbans? Why and why not? If you agree, then come up with your own argument. Why do you agree? If you are not, then you can come up with your own logic. Why not? And what do you suggest to save the Sundarbans? What do you suggest, or what can be your suggestion to save Sundarbans from getting ruined? Okay, what is the Sundarbans called? Natural shield. This factor has also been discussed in one of the slides. So here you find each and every moment, apart from question answer, you face a flowchart because this item is very much new to you. So we are to put the information following the question in rest of the boxes, following the strategies which is applied to writing flowchart. So one information is given, and following the information in conformity with the question, you are to put the rest of the answers in rest of the box following the rules and regulations that is applied for writing flowchart. So that's all for today. Thank you very much. Hope you have enjoyed the class and hope you will be with us for your convenience. Thanks again.